Trump administration is changing how journalists get access to the White House. The president's press team will now have the exclusive right to decide who gets to be part of the press pool and who doesn't. Caroline Malone reports from Washington, D.C.
The Trump administration's press team are now deciding who gets access to the coveted press pool. Previously, a group of 13 reporters, photographers and technical staff who travel with the president on Air Force One and get into the Oval Office and then report back to the rest of their press colleagues on what happened. Chosen by journalists at the White House Correspondents Association. Changes actually began early in Trump's presidency, when Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announced they would accept White House press pass applications from independent bloggers and podcasters and add a new media seat into the press briefing room. Then this week, more big changes.
Moving forward, the White House press pool will be determined by the White House press team. Legacy outlets who have participated in the press pool for decades will still be allowed to join. Fear not. But we will also be offering the privilege to well-deserving outlets who have never been allowed to share in this awesome responsibility.
Anytime there are big events at the White House, members of the press turn out in large numbers. Many can get day passes, and some who've done background checks can get what's known as hard passes, pre-approved annual access. But that can also be taken away. One of the president's early executive orders was to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Global news agency, the Associated Press, did not use the term, and their journalists were blocked from the press pool. That raises concerns about how the White House will decide who gets access to the president.
Anytime the subject of a story is able to choose which reporters write the story and which reporters are there to observe what's going on, it brings up the question of bias. Will the White House choose only news organizations that are friendly to its policies and its goals? Anytime you take the decision of which news organizations have access out of the hands of the people, then it becomes much harder to trust the information that's coming out of those news organizations.
Among those who are urging the Trump administration to reconsider its ban on AP are CNN, The Washington Post, and the conservative channel Fox News. Well, how this all plays out will become clear in the coming weeks. But with big name agencies like AP and Reuters no longer guaranteed front row access, that's likely to also mean less global news access for the thousands of news clients they feed information to. Caroline Malone, CNA, Washington.